Unit 5, test number 3, quadratic equations, practice test number 3. 9 and 10, the instructions say identify the vertex and axis of symmetry. I have vertex form in each of these. I'm going to do number 9. I'll let you do number 10. To identify my vertex is a point, so I need parentheses, comma, parentheses. I need an x and a y. My y is actually -5. And we can talk about why that is in a minute. I'm going to do a sketch of a graph and we can see why that's the case. If my y is -5, so I have -5 here, I have -5 here, that means this has to be 0. The only way it can be 0 is if x is -3. So I take this number and make it negative, or multiply by -1. If it were x minus 3, I would put a +3 there, but it's not. If I want to look at this graph, I'm going to sketch the graph real quickly. You don't have to do this. I'm just trying to make it a little more clear. I have a point here at -3 and -5. The vertex is the point where the curve turns around. So I'm going to look quickly. I know this graph goes down, and we'll talk more about how I know that later. But my graph looks like that. And we know that parabolas go down either way because I have something squared. Whether it's negative or whether it's positive, it's squared. So if I have x equals 4, x equals -4, I get -1 here. I square that, I get 1. I multiply by 2, I get -2. But if x equals -2, I have -2 plus 3, I get a +1. I square that, I still get 1 times -2. So I have a point here and a point here that are exactly the same. The only time that doesn't happen is if this is 0. If I get 0 here, I get -5. There's only one x value that gives me 0 here. There are two x values that give me, I can get a -1, I can get a -2. There are two x values that give me -2 when I multiply this all together, but there's only one that gives me 0. That's why this has to be the vertex, because it's symmetric. At the vertex, there's only one point that has the y value of -5. There are two x values that have this two x values that give you this -y value. My axis of symmetry now is this line. So I have my dotted line here. That's the axis. Symmetry means you can fold it over. That's the axis that you fold it over. This side would exactly match up with this side. The equation for that axis is x equals -3, because everywhere on this line, my x value equals -3. So I can say x equals -3.